let us know if you are seeing us, if we are live. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
It's halfway through the week.
We are halfway through the week. We are almost there. Let us know where you are joining us from. Let us know if you see us live. We are doing things a little bit differently today. Obviously, me and Sadie are both here at the craft table. And we just wanted to really sit down with you guys and have an open and honest and just a frank conversation about selling and about Etsy, and really to try to answer any and all of your questions that you have, and probably break through some of those ideas that you may have. It's going to be led a lot by you, so interacting is going to be very important today to get your questions answered. And the more you interact, the more that we will be able to kind of go off the cuff and answer your questions. We see people coming in here from South Dakota, from Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Michigan. Hi, I'm so glad to have you guys here with us today. And super excited to really have this conversation and open it up. So,
That'd be a good one.
The first thing that we need to do is we need to announce our winner from last month's challenge. So if you didn't know, we are trying to do a monthly challenge where we are challenging our Makers Gonna Learn members to take a skill and show us how they have utilized that skill that month. So we went to our Facebook group, we looked at all of the posts that you all posted showcasing that skill, and that was, we were learning how to bring letters together and weld them together. And I think we're going to do a $50 Amazon gift card. If that's not what it is, what it was, that's what it is now.
That's solid.
That's what it is now. So we do have a winner.
We do have a winner.
Congratulations, Miss Ann Dietz. You are our challenge winner for the month of August.
So exciting.
So exciting.
You guys did so good.
They did.
So good.
I saw a lot of people that participated in that, and everybody did an amazing job. We just randomly picked someone, and Ann is our winner for the $50 Amazon gift card. So congratulations, Ann.
So exciting.
So what we want to start out with is I am going to have Brooks create us a poll, and I want you guys to interact with this poll, and I think we're going to make this poll. We'll do the first one, and let's do you have an open Etsy shop, yes or no?
I'm so curious to see how many people in here
I'm also curious to see how many people have an Etsy shop. And then once we get that answered, I want to kind of have a conversation with you guys on what may or may not be holding you back from an Etsy shop, and ways that I feel like Etsy is still the #1 place to go right now in 2025, and why I still think that it is worth it, and how we can scale and really grow a lasting business with Etsy. So right now, we have about a third each. We have pretty much down the middle. We have a third who says yes, and then we have quite a few that are saying no. So my question now, once you answer the poll, do you have an open Etsy shop or not? What I want you to drop in the comments is why or why not you do or don't have an Etsy shop. Why do you have an Etsy shop? Answer that in the comments. I really want to see that. And then if you don't, why do you not? Like, what is holding you back from starting one? So we've got some coming in. I do not have an Etsy shop because I don't like the rules, and it takes so much of my profits. Write that down. If you don't care, write that down. I love hearing your guys' thoughts. And even Roxanne, if you want to elaborate on these rules that you don't like, I would love to hear that.
I was just thinking, I would love to know what these rules are.
We have Valerie says, just been worried about starting one. Michelle says health, absolutely valid reason. I have one just not opened or running, having issues on how to use it and or how to get it up. That is also very valid. Yes, Tina says, yes, I have a shop learning about the program. Christy says, no time. Want to start one as I approach retirement. I opened one, but nothing listed yet. Janelle has one as a creative outlet. Nancy says, it is worth it. They do a lot of work for me. Love that. Daisy says, because I don't want to pay more taxes. Okay. Not currently using Etsy because of cost and trouble setting it up. Ooh, that's another good one. I wanted an at-home business, but I'm unhappy with all the fees that they have created in the last few years. Okay. Retiring next year and would like to start one. Open one after watching, but I don't want to keep it open as I don't find it being useful.
That was a very interesting one.
Interesting.
Very interesting one.
I love your all's answers, and I
Yes.
love how honest you all are being. Having this honest conversation is very, very important. Thank you for making that bigger. That was very helpful.
How did you do that?
That was so helpful. Yes, I have one trying to get more sales. I have one for passive income, not selling anything so far. So according to our poll, we have about 35 people who have and about 65 who have not. Rules, they dictate their fees and what you can sell and what you can't sell. Okay. I like putting my creations out to the public, but hate how Etsy seems like they don't want everyone to be successful with the constant algorithm changes, cat and mouse daily. Oh, okay, that is, okay, I like the way that you worded that, but I really want to talk about why we still think it's worth it, and I definitely have something later that I think will help you guys.
Sure.
Jill says, I have a shop but only one item I'm creating today. I have a hard time working on my own business. Honestly, learning to block off time to work on your own business is a skill that you have to learn in and of itself.
For sure.
Susan, I'm paralyzed by the thoughts of negative reviews. That is I want to address that thought too. Write that one down.
Okay.
Time management. I want to open one. I could use the extra income. I'm going to craft anyways. Why not make some income? Love that thought.
Oh, yeah.
Love that thought. Nakia says, open but no sales. Cannot focus long enough to finish listings. Anxiety is bad. Can I say that I completely agree and can sympathize and understand that? Also, number one, I don't want the overhead shipping. I have a boutique local here in Utah, and I ship nothing.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that is also very interesting because I would like to share some other things with you guys.
That is
So,
cool.
I actually had something like a little slide deck prepared, but I feel like our first slide that I have pulled up is actually answers. You all have answered a lot of the questions. You all have answered this question already. We can go ahead and go to our share screen and show them. So here's what I had pulled up already. What is your biggest fear when it comes to selling? And y'all have really honestly answered a lot of those questions in the comments. Time restraint was a big one that we saw. The Etsy fees are a big fear of a lot of you all when it comes to selling. Donna says, I do better locally too, but I think I might be getting visibility on Etsy. That's perfect. That's beautiful. I love that for you, Donna. The other fears that I was seeing, what were the other ones that you saw? Fear of negative reviews.
Negative reviews, the trouble and the cost of setting it up has held people back.
Yes. Okay, so I love hearing all your fears, but what I want to really talk about and kind of elaborate on today is some common Etsy myths that you all have said. These are some that we hear over and over and over, and we want to talk about that and really get you over that hump and that fear of selling on Etsy. Because it really is still worth it in 2025, y'all. Etsy has positioned themselves, and I know a lot of people said, oh, the algorithm, I'm tired of the cat and mouse, we have to change. Etsy is really trying to ever change to make it better for you. Yeah. I understand the feeling of the cat and mouse. So let's go back to one. And then here in a minute, we'll dive into those common myths. Because I do want to address this when somebody said, I hate the back and forth and the cat and mouse. I feel like you have also felt that here recently.
Yeah.
Because Etsy does, once again, this is an open and honest conversation, but I'm talking to you as you have already done this, you have succeeded, you have a successful Etsy shop, because I know and believe that everyone here, if you put in the work, if you really want to start selling, it is 100% possible.
1,000%.
1,000% possible.
For sure.
And I think that looking at some of your reservations when it comes to Etsy and looking at some of your fears, I want to take these fears and I want to reposition them in your mind. And I want you to kind of reframe your thinking behind these and go forward from there. So one person said that they were afraid, they didn't like the cat and mouse and the back and forth and feeling like we had to play into the Etsy algorithm. Here are my thoughts on how we can reframe this is to think of it as, yes, the algorithm is changing, but Etsy wants to keep sellers in their atmosphere. Etsy wants to keep sellers on their platform. Etsy wants to keep you there and give the best results to everyone possible. Yeah. Right? So yes, we are kind of somewhat having to play into the algorithm, but they are fixing and changing the algorithm to work better for us as sellers.
Yes, 1,000%.
And for our buyers.
Yeah.
So one of the most recent changes, let's talk about that. Since we're talking about changes with Etsy, a lot of people are afraid, oh, they changed too much. I don't think it is a changing too much. It is just an ever-evolving, an evolution of a business.
Honestly, I just see it as them refining their platform. And I swear, everything that they have been doing recently, all of the changes, they have made it so clear that it's literally to enhance your visibility in the search and in their algorithm. So everything that they're doing, as long as you are on top of these changes and not falling behind, which it's easy to do, you just have to know the changes you have to make, you will end up being enhanced in the algorithm. So yeah, for sure.
So Donna even said the changes with their titles, tags, and updates is driving confusion. Listen, we understand how a pivot in a business can drive confusion.
Yes, 1,000%.
We've had to deal with it here. If you are running your own business and you learn how to pivot and kind of change things, it's going to maybe cause a little bit of confusion. But the thing with that is they're not trying to make it confusing for you all. They're trying to make it easier to understand for both sellers and buyers.
Yeah,
because used to, we were having to take up 140 characters. I'm not saying that don't utilize that real estate if you want to. You obviously have full capabilities to utilize all of that real estate, but what they are really trying to do is simplify it for you so that your titles are clear and concise and to the point, and also clear and concise for the buyers.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it is one of those things, we have to think of it as not a negative. We don't need to put a negative connotation on that. Yeah. But a positive, okay, yep, we're gonna go through some growing pains. Yep, we might see a little bit of a dip, but guess what? We're gonna be better in the long run. We are positioning ourselves to be better in the long run.
Yes.
So I understand having a lot of those changes may make you feel lost. It is so easy to get lost. Yep. But learning and staying on top of what is happening, you all are already on top of the curve. You're already ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
Now, Donna did ask, Sadie, did you change your titles and all of your stuff? Sadie did.
I did, yeah. And it was something, if I'm being honest, it scared the daylights out of me in the beginning because I had so many bestsellers in Etsy. And now Etsy, which mind you, this is an optional thing. Etsy's not like you have to do this or you're going to fail. This is an optional thing. But it does sound like, by the way they're wording it, that the future of Etsy, it's important that we shift now because things are changing. But I was really scared, if we're being honest, to change my bestsellers. And it did take a minute for my shop to adjust to the new titles, but I did do it, and I'm sticking to it. And Etsy is so clear. Like, if you make changes to your shop, don't freak out and try to go back and change it back if you chicken out of it. So they're like, just stick it through because it's going to be so worth it in the long run.
I actually went and changed, and this is just me being honest.
Yeah.
You all know we also have a shop here with our company that we print on demand and all of that stuff. It's kind of been, we've been working on it. We've gone through some growing pains here in our office, as most of you all know. Some kind of like switching around of roles and positions. So the Etsy shop was one that kind of fell back on, fell a little bit down on our priority list there for like 2 seconds. But I was able to get in there and change all of the listings, and I'm starting to see a little bit of an uptick based on what it was last month after changing the titles. So change can be good. Yeah. Change can be hard.
For sure.
Change can be confusing.
Yes.
But I really think that it is still worth it in the long run to kind of flow with that change.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Going back to our slide deck, let's talk about the first absolute number one myth that I feel like a lot of people have around Etsy and around selling is that it is already too saturated. That is one that I truly did not see. I thought that I would see this.
This was when I started my Etsy shop in the beginning. This is what I was afraid of.
Is that Etsy was way too saturated.
Yeah.
So just to give you guys a little bit of some numbers behind this, there are currently 5.5 million sellers on Etsy right now.
That's crazy.
That's just sellers.
Yeah.
But compare that to around 90 million buyers.
Yeah.
That is,
so
there is
wild.
Still so much potential.
Yeah.
So let's go back to one. Etsy sometimes it can feel saturated.
Yeah,
because,
for sure.
Because what you are seeing is the same shops that are doing well, and you're seeing a lot of the same thing. Mm-hmm. But what I want you guys to start thinking of is positioning yourself to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
And
1,000%.
building your brand identity. Mm-hmm. I do feel like it's too saturated. I feel that, I understand, but when you find your niche, you find your style, you are going to attract the people to your shop that resonate with you and your style and your niche.
Yeah, and you know what's so key? You can't expect to put like 5 listings out there in a saturated market and expect to be seen. You're really gonna have to be consistent and put yourself out there because you may think it's saturated, so why would you just put like 2 listings in there? You've gotta like put yourself out there for sure.
Now, one thing I do want to address, Lisa said sellers as much as the population here. 5.5 million sellers sounds like a lot, but that does not mean that they are active sellers. That means that This data that came from was 5.5 million sellers, meaning there was 5.5 million people who had some type of listing transaction or something. That does not mean their shop is actively bringing in stuff or actively making money. That's just the amount. The people that are putting the work into their shop, that are creating those listings. And guys, if there is one thing, this title says the brutal truth, the honest truth. This is one thing that I do want to be honest with you guys about. This is not a get rich quick scheme.
Absolutely not.
This is not a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
This is something that we are telling you guys. We are trying to stay on top of the trends and help you guys. But it is work. You are going to have to put work in for this to see that return. So just know that up front. But we are here to really, really help you understand and fully know what is working, what is not working, because like you all have already addressed and stated, the algorithm does change. I mean, we're in a technology first society where everything is always evolving and changing, and it can be hard to stay on top of it. Which kind of segues me into what I would love to talk to you guys about is if you are here and you're like, yeah, I just don't know enough to truly get into Etsy and start selling. We are hosting a conference next Monday called the Etsy Effect. I'm sure most of you guys have heard it. We are doing this once a month. If you have been before, like I said, it is ever changing and ever evolving. And we have new information, new things. We're actually doing a 50% off coupon right now just for 24 hours where you can get 50% off your Etsy Effect ticket if you are a lifetime member, which I know, or you have an all access pass. Let me rephrase. Forget that I ever said the word lifetime. If you purchase an all access pass or you're an MGL Plus member, you get to go to the Etsy Effect for free already. No matter how many times we host it, you can show up live. If you have availability on Monday, it is a virtual all-day conference. We are doing half off for you guys that maybe have not gone before and want to check it out to see what it's about. We're doing 50% off today for tickets for 24 hours. Make sure you use that code HALFOFFETSY. It is there in the comments and it is pinned as well. You can click that link, sign up for the Etsy Effect, because today we just really want to get you primed and ready to take in all of the information that we have on Monday.
And it's going to be like a fire hose, so buckle up.
It is truly going to be like drinking from a fire hose, 100%. You're going to walk away so empowered, so ready to kick off and get ready and get started with Etsy and start putting in the work. Nicole says, I'm registered and working on the prep work videos. That's amazing. There are prep work videos for this conference. If you have never attended, where we kind of go through the mindset to get your mind right, because having your mind right to start a business, if you don't have your mind right,
and this is a whole task on its own.
That is a whole task on its own. Let's take the word Etsy. If you are ready to start selling your products, if we take the word Etsy out, you still have to have your mind right, or you are going to realize, it's going to be one of those things you're going to let yourself get in your own way.
And Tanner says this literally all the time. He's like, you have to believe in yourself and you're halfway there.
Absolutely.
It's 1,000% a mindset thing. If you don't believe you could have a successful Etsy shop, you're not going to have one. That's literally, that's a brutal truth in its own.
That's called manifestation. That is called believing in yourself. That is called speaking truth, speaking life into yourself and your business. And that is something that you definitely have to do. 1,000%. So we'll go back to our share screen because I want to show you some stats. If you think Etsy is already too saturated, I want to show you some stats. This is
look familiar, guys.
These were pulled. Did you pull these just recently?
I pulled it.
Pulled these
for
today?
today's live.
For today's live. I did black out one of the listings, and the reason that I'm doing that is most of you all here probably already know. I know we have a lot of friends that love coming and talking to us, and we absolutely love our Wednesdays talking to you guys too. But I did that because we want to try to keep Sadie's conversion rate the same. We don't want to affect her conversion rate. If you don't know what a conversion rate, if you look at this, views to orders, it's just a ratio. It's a percentage of views to orders. So how many times it was viewed versus how many times it was ordered gives us her conversion rate.
Yeah.
So we don't want to mess with that, because when people go view things and they don't purchase. But y'all, she has made over $3,000 on one listing.
This is one
listing.
And I have over 200 listings,
Yep.
guys.
Like I said,
Crazy.
And that's a very important. Let's go back to one. That is a very important thing that you touched on. You said you had how many active listings?
Over 200.
So you have quite a few in your shop. That is another thing that I guess I want the brutal, honest truth with you guys. And Sadie had touched on it earlier. Opening an Etsy shop and listing 5 things and then saying, oh, I'm not getting anything, I'm not seeing anything.
You cannot settle for
You
that.
can't. If there's one thing I want you guys to take away from today, I don't want you guys to settle for anything but the best for yourself.
Yeah.
And just throwing 5 listings in a shop and saying, well, if this don't take off, I'm not doing it. That's not the best for ourselves.
No.
What is the best for ourselves is constantly working toward our most highest and most productive self.
Yeah.
And I want to touch, because I want to talk to, I think Nakia said this, about how she has a very hard time staying on task. And this is something that we coach on and teach you guys within Etsy Effect, is teaching you time blocking skills.
Yes. And that is a complete game changer.
Absolute,
sure.
100% game changer is learning how to time block and how to manage your time wisely. I am not diagnosed with ADHD. I know we have a lot of people here that may be, and it is hard to stay on task. I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, and it's still hard for me to stay on task. I truly cannot imagine those of us who have an actual diagnosis and trying to stay on track. But being very diligent and learning that skill, like I said, which we teach in Etsy Effect, will help you truly become and create and put stuff out there at your highest potential.
Yep.
It's a muscle that we work. It's like if we want to have big biceps, but we go to the gym and just run on the treadmill all the time, how are we going to have big biceps if we don't work that muscle? So how are we going to learn to block our time if we don't take steps to learn the skills necessary and we don't consistently stay with those steps? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it would be like me turning on a show and listening to some music while doing something and then getting distracted. If you don't go through the necessary process of focusing in, shutting everything else out, and working that muscle and not allowing yourself to get distracted. Allowing yourself to get distracted is what I have found is I'm the worst at. I will allow myself to get distracted. I will find something to distract myself to not stay on task. So working that muscle and learning that, nope, I'm going to have enough control. I'm going to get this done. And doing that consistently is going to bring results.
Yeah, at that point, you have to really just kind of realize what your priorities are, because you are going to let your energy flow where you want to see success.
Right. So do you want to see success in yourself?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if you do, then you're going to stay focused. And it's just getting yourself right and getting yourself in that headspace to do that.
Yeah.
Having an actual diagnosis and taking medications, it's hard and exhausting. Listen, I can't sympathize. I have not had, like I said, I've not actually had a diagnosis, but I can truly, my heart goes out to you all, and that's what we are here for, is to help you kind of stay on task and help you move through that and help teach you and give you those skills necessary to succeed, because that's all we are here to serve you guys. We are here to help you all the best way possible, and doing that by learning the process ourselves and then teaching it to you. Okay, that is also a good question. Roxanne asks, it does not matter what I look for on Etsy. Everyone has slashed their prices. So my mind says everyone is hurting, or that saturation is causing the prices to drop pretty much. That is an amazing observation. So one of the other things that we teach you and that we are going to teach you in the Etsy Effect is kind of how to position yourself marketing wise, and what everyone is catching on to, and what you're seeing is that everyone slashes prices because what do we all love as consumers? Let's take ourselves out of the driver's seat for a minute.
Yeah.
As in, we're not the business owner. What drives you to make a purchase? What drives you to make a purchase? Immediately, it's a sale.
It's a sale.
It's a
I
sale.
will not buy things sometimes if they're not on sale.
Absolutely
I
not.
will never buy something at full price.
Yes. I am not going to, I'm not going to buy something if it's not on sale. So when I see something is on sale, it is a tactic to get people to click on their listings, because statistically speaking, you have a better chance of someone purchasing after they click on your listing.
Yep.
Obviously, they can't purchase unless they click.
Yes, exactly.
So getting them to click is the thing. So what you do, and what a lot of people on Etsy do, is they will mark their prices up just a little bit to where they are comfortable then putting it on sale, but still making a profit margin. Once again, Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yep.
Okay. I thought you were about to say something and I was interrupting. No, so it is not necessarily, Roxanne, it is not that everyone is hurting per se. It is that they are doing the math.
It's very strategic.
Very strategic.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that you want to price yourself at a, how do I want to say this? I'm trying to think of the right words. You want to price yourself at a believable price.
Yes.
And not feel like it's, oh my gosh, this is so cheap, I don't trust it. Or, oh my gosh, that is so expensive, I'm not going to buy that.
Yes.
It is strategically placing yourself within that median range, which is going to get more people to click and buy.
Yeah. It's kind of like going to the grocery store and you see like a carton of eggs and one is like this lower price and one is more expensive. You're just like naturally going to be like, I feel like these are better. They're just better somehow because it's more expensive. So you just have to think of how your customers will view those prices, because even though the price is low and that you may think that your customer is going to be like, oh, that's a good deal, they may also view that and be like, why is it low? Is the quality not super amazing?
There are also some
It's a
people,
mental thing.
there are also some people, and I know that people are going to either ask this question or say, well, I've seen this. Most of you all have probably seen that you have seen the listings where they're like selling a shirt and it says $4.99 or like $6.99.
I hate when that happens.
That's what they call a loss leader. That is a marketing tactic, and it is not necessarily something that I think is best practice.
Honestly, I think it hurts your conversion rate, because I click on stuff like that because I'm like, oh, this t-shirt's $5, and then I click on it and it's like $30, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to click out of it.
Yes.
That's ultimately hurting their shop.
Right. So we do not teach our people to do the loss leader. We teach you all to pretty much say whatever your price is what your price is. If you are you build in your discount, and sometimes you can even run a higher discount if you're like, okay, I need to get a few quick sales now. You can do that. Now, I did want to address Donna. She says, Etsy leaves me feeling like I have no way to market my products. Marketing is so important in today's climate, and just sharing on social media doesn't get you ranked higher on the Etsy search. So here, and actually, let's go ahead and let's go to our share screen. And I want to hop to myth number 3 because I feel like this correlates both with what Donna is saying and what the third myth is that I feel like a lot of people, it holds them back from at least starting on Etsy. And that is, you can't scale a real business on Etsy. I know a lot of people feel like scaling a business on Etsy is not possible, but hear me out. Etsy can be a stepping stone to truly building longevity for your business. So let's go back to 1 because this is something that I really, really want you guys to know and understand. Yes, we are teaching you how to start selling on Etsy, but our whole goal is to teach you how to sell on Etsy because guess what? As a new business, there are a few things that you're not going to have.
Yep. For sure.
You're not going to have a brand behind you.
Yep.
You're not going to have people that you obviously will have people locally that know, like, and trust you.
Yeah.
But for some stranger on the street to purchase from you, you're not going to have that trust built up with someone for them to then give you their money for a product.
Yep.
So what
sure.
Etsy does is Etsy helps us, or you as a seller, us, whoever, Etsy allows you to build that brand trust because people come to Etsy for handmade products. That's just the facts.
Yep.
And a handmade product, we know, can be either a phenomenal handmade product or sometimes not as phenomenal handmade product. So
Very true.
when we go to Etsy, which is a brand that millions, obviously 90 million people,
90 million
90 million people,
buyers last year on Etsy.
they know, like, and trust this brand.
Crazy.
And they are coming to Etsy for those amazing handmade products,
And they are coming ready to spend money.
ready to spend money.
Yeah.
But what you can do, yes, it can sometimes feel like you don't have a way to, it's harder to market because it is a larger marketplace. However, if we position ourselves on Etsy to really kind of help lead people into our shop, we can start growing and building a brand that can last time over time again, especially if we, because I know that Donna also uses social media sometimes to put herself out there and to put her products out there. Etsy it's just a place that kind of supplements that, is the way that I want you guys to start looking at it. And we start on Etsy because it brings us the traffic in, but we want to utilize that traffic and those purchases and those buyers to then say, thank you so much, check us out here. Do you want to get on our email list for new drops?
Yes.
Grow our email list. And that's just an added bonus. Some of you all may not be there yet, but I want you all to start thinking of it as, okay, like this is stepping stone 1. Like, I need to learn Etsy. I need to learn how to position myself on Etsy because I really, really just want to sell. I want to learn how to market.
Yeah.
And I'm going to learn that in Etsy. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons I still think it's worth it in 2025 is because it helps you it can help you become a truly established brand and then grow from there.
Yeah.
I think it is 100% worth it.
1000%, yeah.
So I will go back and we can talk about myth number 2 because I want to make sure we address this because we had a lot of people talk about the cost and the fees. So we can talk about that. Lisa says tariff shipping, that's some of what is terrifying at the moment. I get it. I understand that. Tariffs and shipping are, but guess what? People are still paying that. They've not stopped.
Yeah.
They haven't stopped.
So true.
Is it making things more expensive? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hitting my wallet? Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah. we'd be sitting here lying to you if we didn't say that it wasn't hitting our wallet. It's hitting everybody's. It is hitting everybody's. But guess what? People are still buying when they need to buy.
Yep.
They may not be as frivolous, but they're still buying when they need to buy something. That
Yes.
it is not. I won't make my comments. But the tariffs and the shipping, yes, it's just not stopped people from buying. So I do understand that that's scary, but I don't think that it's really affected things a ton. And guess what? If you do digital products,
Yeah.
you don't even have to worry about
And that's
it.
what I do. For those of you who don't know, I do not sell a physical item. And those stats, all digital.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now I do think that there is still room for people who make physical products.
Yes.
There are
for sure.
still people out there looking for those true handmade products.
And if you're looking at the trends right now, like Christmas, for example, so many handmade items for Christmas this year, like handmade looking decorations. If you look at trends, it's like a handmade holiday this year.
Okay, I love this comment. So, with the statement of people are looking for that handmade item, how is it that POD is pushed to not cause someone to be trapped in your shop at home? Thank you, honestly, thank you so much for making that comment.
Yes.
Because there are a couple different ways that you can do this. I still fully feel like creating a digital product is still using your creativity.
1,000%.
I mean,
I've spent hours and hours and hours creating designs.
that I can't recreate as much as I try.
Yeah.
It is hard. You have to
Yeah.
honestly almost have a gift and an eye to create those digital designs just
Yeah.
as much as someone who spends hours making a crocheted sweater.
Yeah.
It is
It is not any less creative, I could tell you that.
And-
As someone who does it myself, I pour my creative juices into my work.
And same thing with
a lot of
print
work.
on demand. Print on demand, you are still having to use your brain.
Yeah.
You are still having to use your creative thoughts, your creative process to create the design. You're just not having to deal with the shipping.
Yeah.
You're just not having to deal with the fulfillment. Some people, that's going to be perfect for.
Yeah.
Some people don't like the fulfillment part. Some people really enjoy the designing part. Some people, on the other hand, don't really care for the designing part and are really want to go all in the fulfillment and actually
Yeah.
hand make things. And that is okay too, because especially with the Etsy Effect and our program, which you all have heard about, Passive Earner Society, we teach you both. I don't feel like there's a limitation on either.
Absolutely not.
And there are a lot of people that have what we like to call hybrid shops that have a little bit of digital and a little bit of handmade so that they can have both. And y'all, it's gonna, listen, like I said earlier, we are trying to position you to really become a business and a brand that you can stand behind. So finding what really lights your fire is part of what we do here.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So it is, Lila says, still handmade. Print on demand means that I designed it. That does. It means that you're the one that came up with the design.
You were the creative brains behind it.
Yes. And, okay, right, you said, but machines make it. Doesn't this machine right here also, if you're going to sell a HTV shirt, this machine makes it too?
I wasn't cutting out that vinyl to slap on a t-shirt.
I mean, it could be, I don't know. Roxanne says, the shipping is on the review, which should not be. I don't review, I give it the shipping is on the review of the print on demand. You're saying that is all part of. Well, okay, so with print on demand products, if you get those orders and you go in there and you review them and you put them through production, you're not going to have issues with shipping. And we've not had any issues with shipping. I actually sent we had a customer this past month who messaged us on Etsy and said, hey, I love this design, but I don't want it curved and I want it straight across. I don't want it curved. And anyway, there was a couple of changes that I had to make. And she said I need it by, it was like an insanely quick turnaround. I was able to send it through Printify. She paid some expedited shipping, and it went off without a hitch, like flawless.
Yes.
So
good.
I'm not saying that you're going to get that result every time, but I feel like we are letting the fear of something bad happening hold us back from the good that is out there for you all to receive. There's so much still yet to go around. Putting yourself out there is the big thing, and not letting that fear of, well, what if this happens? Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
You all are in the driver's seat of your business. And one thing that is true and will stand true till the test of time is you get to make that decision. And if something doesn't go right, and let's say shipping is behind, you can make it right with your customer.
Yeah.
Give them 50% off their next product.
Yeah.
Give them, if you really want to make it right with them, give them a refund, because you are in the driver's seat. If you're afraid of that bad review, over-deliver to your customers.
Yeah. And I promise you, if you're communicating with your customer, they are way less likely to leave you a bad review because you kept them in the loop.
Yep.
You're very intentional to let them know what was happening.
Yes. And that's what I did. I gave her shipping information. I told her, hey, you needed it by this date. Here is what it's saying currently. I'll give you an update tomorrow morning where it's at.
Yeah.
Because I just told her, I was honest with her. I said, we don't do these in-house. We outsource them.
Yeah.
She was perfectly fine with that. I said, we're the ones that created the design. We are the ones that send it to her. We outsource it. And as long as I kept her in the loop, she was perfectly fine with everything. So I promise having that, but Roxanne says, no, if I give a rating on shipping because there wasn't any, so the shop is not getting a perfect review. I understand that, and I get where you're coming from, but that is also just one of those things that you kind of take on that risk. If you are going to do print on demand, you kind of just take that risk on yourself. That doesn't mean you can't continue to get good reviews from other people. And you can reply back to that person if they did give you a low review on shipping. Once again, we're still in the driver's seat. So I would like to right now, if you all have any other questions, I would love to open it up to answer any of your other questions. If you really, really want to, if you've not been before or you want to go again, make sure you get signed up for the Etsy Effect. I'm going to have Brooks drop that link again. We are doing 50% off our Etsy Effect tickets, 24 hours only. I literally just got the green light from Tanner to do this for 24 hours, like
Very spontaneously.
very spontaneously, because I feel like if you're here, then you're ready to go deeper. And like I said, Etsy Effect is going to be like drinking from a fire hose.
Yes.
We've done it a few times. It's one of those things that it just keeps getting better and better and better
does.
every single time. We
Yes.
keep changing and adding more information. Just because the Etsy algorithm is changing, we have to be on top of it too.
Yep.
We have to be on top of it too. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you get registered for the Etsy Effect. It is Monday, September the 15th. And if you get signed up, you can go ahead and dive into the bonus trainings today, or the prep trainings. You get a full workbook for when you sign up. And you can get started on those prep trainings today to really start getting your mind right, getting yourself ready for this, because like we said earlier, getting your mind right is 50% of the battle.
Yep. It really is.
And then after that, I do think we also have like extra coaching sessions that come along with the Etsy Effect. Tanner will talk about those on Monday, but we just wanted to make sure you didn't miss this opportunity.
Yes. This could literally be the thing that launches you and changes your life forever.
Like,
This is the starting point of crazy, crazy good things.
I feel like there is someone here that is probably at that precipice of a pivotal moment in your life.
Yeah.
Like, what if this is it? Like, what if this starts to fire? What if this starts shifting your mind to start building the legacy that you want to create?
Yes.
We did have a friend, what the F, tips on not using personal use or copywritten items. So just as a general rule of thumb, anything that, if you are, let's say you're an MGL member, anything on the MGL website, you have 100% commercial use license for and can use it. If you have a Canva Pro account, any element that is in Canva, you have commercial use license for.
Yeah.
Copywritten image that we stay away from. I personally don't touch Disney with a 10-foot pole.
No.
Nobody here touches Disney with a 10-foot pole. There are a lot of other things that we just don't touch with a 10-foot pole. And copywritten images are some things that we like to stay away from. Now, if you can take an idea or take a theme and make it your own personal spin that doesn't use copywritten images, that is where you can really make some money and they can't come get you. One of those being, it was just a picture of a staircase
I was literally thinking
with
of
a
Cinderella.
glass slipper on
Yes.
it, and it said, "Meet me at midnight."
Yes, or even like color schemes, like
Color
using the
schemes,
beautiful blue, like
yes.
yellow. You can make it, like people could look at that and be like, that really reminds me of Cinderella, without you literally slapping Cinderella on something.
So we're not going to use actual images unless, now there are some things that you can purchase that commercial use license with, like some images you can, and sometimes you can, that's a lot, but we just generally say kind of, we're going to stay away from it, and we are going to, if you want to create something that is similar, we're going to find a workaround that resonates with the people that know that fandom, that whatever. Beth Fitzgibbons, I don't know if you've watched that case study, is a phenomenal example of that.
Good. Yes.
Phenomenal example how she takes elements that are not necessarily copywritten and changes them and just uses things that people within that fandom know.
Yes.
Like they know,
If you know, you know.
if you know kind of thing. Yeah. What are the hours Eastern Standard Time for the Etsy Effect? We start at 10, right? Or is it 11?
11? I think it's 11.
11. We start at
11.
11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we go until like 3.
Sometimes 4.
Sometimes 4.
We go crazy.
So it is a day. You do get a replay. How long is the replay, Brooks? You get a replay. You get a replay. If you can't be there the whole time, you will get a replay.
We got you.
So if you sign up, we're gonna make sure that you get that. You get access to that. You can rewatch it. If you want to be there live, obviously you're gonna get the most out of it if you're there live. Like we said, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to around 3 to 4.
Yes.
Be ready. Get you a notebook if you're going.
You
Get
have
you a
to.
pen, 2 or 3. Yes. So be ready.
It's rich.
We also, Donna, thank you so much for reminding me. Before we head out today, I did want to talk to you guys about our masterclass. We do have a masterclass tomorrow.
It's a good one.
It's a really, really good one.
I'm actually obsessed with it.
If you aren't an MGL member, you can sign up for the trial. I think the trial is in the description below. If it's not, we'll add that. If you want to sign up for our MGL Plus trial, you can do that, and you can come to our masterclass tomorrow. We are teaching you how to create custom. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot. Number 1, we are talking about temporary tattoo paper.
That blows my mind.
So we're not
crazy.
only are we teaching you how to use temporary tattoo paper and talking about, because Silhouette has a brand and Cricut has a brand.
Okay.
We're going to talk, we got both of them. We're going to talk about what we like and what we don't like about both. So not only are we going to be teaching you guys how to create your own temporary tattoos,
That's wild.
but we're also going to be making custom candles with those temporary tattoos.
Love them so much.
They're so cute.
So cute.
I know a lot of people have made the custom candles. I've seen people like decoupage napkins and stuff on there. I really think this temporary tattoo is one of my favorite ways.
Yeah.
Because
It's so seamless.
it is so
It looks
seamless.
like it was printed directly onto the candle.
Like,
And it feels
what?
like it. It's crazy.
We
It's wild.
also, let me just go grab it.
Go get it.
I'll go grab one of them just so you guys can see.
It's so cute.
We also did burn one to
Yeah.
see how well it burnt. So we'll go overhead. But this is one.
So cute.
It is like adorable. This one we're not gonna do a full wrap. You can see we tried to do a full wrap. It didn't turn out as well as we wanted. But we did burn it to see how it burnt because I knew you guys would ask. I knew you guys would ask. So it burnt fine. I will say this, the tattoo paper doesn't really burn. When I put it over the flame, it would burn.
Yeah.
So I would probably do these as decorative only, but if for some reason you want to burn them when you are in the room. Like you don't light these and then leave them. So anyway,
So cute.
this is what we're doing tomorrow. Daisy, we are teaching this tomorrow at our master class,
Yes.
1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you get signed up. Grab your Etsy Effect ticket today. 24 hours, you're getting 50% off. If you hold an all access pass or you are an MGL Plus member, you get to come no matter what, but we want to see you
free.
there. We want to make sure you get in the room in enough time to get that prep training done and get really ready. Really, really ready.
It's gonna change your life.
It is.
Positive of it.
Okie doke. See you guys tomorrow. I was about to say next week, but I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.